Okay, so welcome back to another shop update. Today is March the 8th, 2017, and this week I've got quite a few things on the list. The first thing is the drill charging station that I just made over on my main channel. It turned out great. I've got my drills, my staple guns, my brad nailers, the things that go along with those things. You know, the batteries have a place to stay, to be charged, and some dust bins. So the first thing I want to do is just kind of take you over here, give you a tour of the whole thing, and just give you an overview. So let's take a look at it. Okay guys, so here is the drill charging station. I just want to kind of give you an overview of what's going on here. It's basically just it's a real simple box, but where the design elements come in is how to store the drills, the air tools, the dust bins. Of course, I didn't do anything special for the batteries. They're just sitting on top, and I can get them out fairly easy, depending on what kind of drill you have or what kind of battery charger it is. You can come up with something on top to make your application a little easier to remove and install the batteries into the chargers. But as far as the way the drills are concerned, you saw in the video how I cut the slots and drilled the holes. But as far as holding the drill, they actually can be stored that way. But the reason I don't store my drills this way, because I have the porter cables, and I don't know how the other drills are, but this forward and reverse and the neutral setting here, it gets in the way, and so the drill kind of sits crooked. And I don't want to take the risk of breaking this, just in a rush and slamming it in there. So if I put it in this way, it rests on the bottom of the base of the drill, and it's not going to hurt anything. Now I saw another comment that a guy saw another comment where he was concerned about storing him this way, because if he keeps a bit in there, it may hurt him, may run into it or whatever. I normally take my bits out because I don't always use the same bit for everything. I might use a shorter one or a longer one or a different, like a Starhead or a Phillips, whatever. So storing it this way is not going to matter. Plus, where this is located, I'm not going to be walking in this direction. So I'm going to be walking towards it. And so it's not really an issue for me. So, but I like it this way, number one, because I can see what it is. This is the drill, this is the impact, and if it was turned around, they look the same from the back. So this is an old DeWalt. It hangs in there fairly well too. And the same thing if you were to hang it with this one, the switch kind of gets in the way. So that's my preferred method of hanging these tools, and this shelf here is protecting the top of the bottom of the drill in case anybody's wondering about dust getting down in here or whatever. I'm sure some dust will make it in there, but it's okay. As far as the nail guns, the brad guns, these are just I don't have any laying around, but they're just Harbor Freight quick releases for pneumatic tools, air tools. And so they are fairly easy to do one-handed. Just kind of push it up with your fingers and then push the tool in place. And it's pretty simple. So now there's room for two more cutoff, or for my cutoff tool here and something else. But this is a really convenient way to store the air tools for me anyway, because I've got all my stuff here, the oil that goes in the gun, all the staples and brad nails, and here's one, but it's not the female. So I can keep all of my air tool stuff here. I can keep my bits, my most used bits here, because I keep a lot of them drilled or screwed to the wall over here that you probably have seen in the shop tour. But I keep a lot of my oddball screws over here, like my Craig screws or my plugs or something that I don't use all the time. A lot of my screws are over here in the middle where I can access them easier when I need more. But all that's here in a centralized location. Everything's got a home, a place. Now the dust collection, or the dust free bins, I started to leave this divider out, but I thought, I may want to store a couple of things. I may not want to have to shuffle around. So the smaller the compartment, the less cluttered it's going to be, in my opinion. So this one is mainly for my laptop and my phone, so I can just kind of put my phone here in a way that I can see it if it starts ringing, or I get a text or something, I can see at a glance or whatever. But there is room for, I've got a 15-inch MacBook that will fit in here with my phone. And so if I'm working in here looking at plans or whatever, and then I go start cutting on the table saw, and I don't need my laptop or my phone for a little while, and I don't want to leave it out and get dusty, I can just throw it in here and come get it out when I need it. So that's really handy. And then over here on the other side, I keep some dust mask, my eye protection, and my Bluetooth ear protection headset. So it just kind of keeps the dust off of it and keeps it clean. And that's pretty much it. And so I've got everything. The power for this is just ran over off the side. I don't have any holes drilled into this. And so it comes over here, and I think you can see it in the frame there. It's just a power switch, basically, and I've got the 2 charging stations plugged up. And then also I've got my 2 camera battery packs plugged up here too. So everything's right here together. And that pretty much sums it up. So if you decide you want to build this, I would love to see pictures in your version. So tag me on Instagram, shoot me an email, and I'll throw it in my shop updates and let everybody see the different versions that you guys make. So, all right, that's it. Okay, so there you have it. It's pretty nice having everything in one place and having a home for certain things. I will have plans for this available in about a week or so. So be sure to go sign up on my website at stoneandsons.net and go to the plans tab, and you can be sure to sign up there so you'll know when these plans are released. Also, in the footer at my website, you can sign up there as well. All these different areas to sign up, they're just interest based. So if you're on my plans tab and you sign up there, you'll be tagged that, hey, you're interested in plans. And if you're over on my courses tab and you sign up there, it tags you as interested in courses, and so on and so on. So you'll be on the list, and you'll receive an email from me asking you to click on certain things, which will just tell you or let me know that you're interested in those things. So I don't bother you with the things that you're not interested in. So be sure to sign up for that if you are wanting plans for that charging station. Let's see, next on my list, speaking of plans, I'm going to have that coming out. I'm going to have a tool tote, which is this thing here. It's just a basic wooden toolbox that my woodworking class that I hold, I make studios that I hold here in the shop through the week. Some of my students put this together. This will be a free download over on my plans, so I'll have that coming out soon. And also, we're going to be doing, a friend of mine, we're going to be doing a video on bee boxes. That's bees, as in honeybees. So we're going to be making some bee boxes, and I'm going to show the process of building one. We're going to take it out to his place on his farm and set these things up. I'll probably be suited up in a bee suit, and we'll just see how the whole thing works. So that ought to be fun. So that is sometime in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, I have had quite a few requests on my table saw and how I collect the dust on it, because this particular table saw is the Delta, 36725, whatever Lowe's sells, and the bottom of it is just open. But I created a frame within the underside on the inside of the frame of the metal. I just screwed some wooden, basically just made a frame up underneath to have something to screw up to close it off, and I just added a 4-inch port on the bottom of it. And it's got a 2-inch or 2.5-inch port that comes off the back side, and I've also got that hooked up. But I'm thinking of taking that 2.5-inch port out, blocking it off, and just having the 4-inch port on the bottom. I think that would allow more suction out of the table saw. I think having 2 different ports for my setup with the Harbor Freight dust collector and the 4-inch lines that I've got. I do have 5-inch main lines, but my drops are 4-inch. So I'm going to close off the 2.5-inch port, I believe, take the dust shroud out of around the blade, and just open it up so everything falls down to the very bottom to that 4-inch port. And I believe that will work out a lot better. But several people have asked about, how does that look? What did you do? I'm going to try to put the camera down below the table saw here and just kind of show you, I don't know what we can see, but I'll try. We'll see what happens. And maybe give you some ideas if you have this particular table saw, or if you have another table saw that does not have dust collection, of maybe, how to enclose that. So let's take a look at this and see what we can see. Okay, so this is going to be a little shaky here, but this is the back of the table saw. You can see the blast gate right there that's pulled out, and this is the port for the table saw. The 2.5-inch port comes out, and I've got a hose that connects over to a Y. But that's a factory port that comes out the back side, and that's the one that I'm talking about taking off or blocking it. I don't really think it's that effective. I'm going to take it out. I think I'll have better results just from the 4-inch port at the bottom. So let's see if I can get some kind of view of the bottom side of this saw. This part of the black plastic that you see right here, that is the side of the saw that you would stand on to operate the saw. The opposite side is the back side, and so that's where the 2.5-inch port is. But you can see what I've done here. Let's see if you can find my finger without breaking my camera. Okay, so here's my finger. This is the front of the saw. So all this is a piece of metal on the edge of the saw here, and there's another piece of metal here. But this is the bottom of the cavity, and what I've done is this is a 2x4 here, and I just screwed through this metal right here, just screwed through from the outside into this 2x4, and made a frame on the inside of this cavity to give myself something to screw to. So that's what this plywood here is screwed into. And this 2x4 is, you're looking at the 4-inch or the 3.5-inch part of it. So the 2.5 or the 1.5 inch is what's up against the metal. And so I've got it in there like, the 3.5-inch portion of the 2x4 is sticking out away from the saw, if that makes sense, which I don't think it does. So, but anyway, regardless, you want to put wood all the way around the bottom side, then tack you a piece of plywood that's got a hole in the middle of it to where you can attach that black piece, that black 4-inch port that I got from Amazon too. And then just tape everything up, all the gaps and the seams and everything, and then attach your hose like so. And so that's what I've done. I hope you guys can tell a little bit about what's going on there. Okay, and then also what I did was just temporarily, I just taped up, put foam in this thing, and just taped up all around the seams. You can see all the foil tape everywhere, and just kind of tape up everything. And you can see this is the vent here. I didn't block that. Don't block that, because you want some airflow of some kind. But all around the edges you can see where I've taped up. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so there you could see kind of what I did. You can see the 4-inch line there, and I showed you the 2.5-inch port that I will be closing off. And so you can see where that black plastic port I got from Amazon. I'll link it down in the description, but you can take that, build you a frame, and just screw that up to the bottom of the wood that you installed. And it's really as simple as that, and then just include a blast gate at some point to where you can open and close it. And it works out pretty good. Otherwise, it would be, you know, a mess on the floor, and I'd have to clean that up. So if nothing else, you can just put you that port and a bucket under it, and then just empty it, you know, as it fills up. So a lot of options with these kind of table saws. They just, you know, are not very good. I taped up all the cracks and the seams, and, you know, all the opening areas. I did leave the vent open to where you can get some ventilation, and of course you're going to have some ventilation from the top too, so don't worry about it overheating or anything. So that's how I did that. So maybe you have some ideas from that. Leave a comment down in the comment section below if you have any more questions, and I'll be glad to show you what I can. Okay. All right. So I've got this idea of making 50 mallets in 1 week. The idea is to get this mallet out there, this mallet design that I've got. I did actually the video on the whole design concept of the mallets that I make, with the flat sides and the round sides. And I haven't really nailed down the whole design yet. If you go back and look, I haven't really released any kind of measurements or anything, and that's just for the simple fact of I want to make sure I've got a solid design and I can replicate it very easily. But I want to put this thing in production, and so the challenge came to me to make 50 mallets and just sell them. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to make 50 mallets in 1 week. Hopefully, if it doesn't happen in 1 week, I will continue to make them till they're done. But I hope to have some of these at the woodworking shows in Atlanta. I'm going to try to put some on my website, and maybe I'll post some pictures over on Instagram. But that is a project that I am fixing to embark on. I know it's going to be a lot of turning. It's going to be a big mess. But sometimes to get to a point to where you have accomplished something, you have to go through the mess. You have to go through the pain and actually do it. I mean, but hey, I'll be turning on the lathe and having fun and woodworking in the shop. So, you know, it could be worse. The last thing on the list is the hats that I'm wearing. I've had several requests for hats. I don't have these just ready to sell. I just take orders as they come in and just ship them out. But I've had a few here lately, and so I want to just go ahead and do a run of these. But I want to go ahead and ask before I do that, and then somebody asks later, hey, can I order a hat? I'm fixing to do an order on these hats. I'm fixing to make a request for these hats to be made, because I've got several people wanting them. So if you guys want one, let me know. You can go to my website, stoneandsons.net, and go to the contact page and just hit me up there. Or you can go to the store, and there's an actual form there that is a hat interest form that you can fill out and let me know if you want one or not. No pressure. I was fixing to go make an order, and I thought, well, let me mention this in the shop update to see if there's anybody else that wants one. But it's got my logo here. It's a white mesh back, and it's got stoneandsons.net on the back side there, overarching the opening. So very comfortable. I love the hat, and several people have ordered them and are happy with them. But also, I'll go ahead and mention my shirts as well. They're in the store. You can get some of my shirts there. I don't really do any kind of screen printing or, you know, make them my own shirts or anything like that. So if you want one of those, you can order them from the website. But let me know on the hats, and I'll get those for those that want one. That's all I've got on the list. This update was a little bit longer than normal. But that's okay. That's what this is for. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know about the table saw dust collection if you guys got any ideas from that. Or, you know, if you build the drill charging station, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see pictures of that. Send them to me. I will feature them in the next shop update if you do so. And if you want plans for those things, be on the lookout. Sign up for the email list to be notified when they are available. All right, guys. We will see you on the next shop update. And if you go to Atlanta the end of this month, we'll see you there. All right, guys, take care. See you next time.